Good evening. Welcome to this Monday night edition of Newsmax Prime. I'm J.D. Hayworth. Of prime interest tonight, no apologies. Donald Trump refuses to apologize for comments he made at the first Republican debate. The Donald going so far as to say earlier today on Morning Joe that Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly should apologize to him. Newsmax anchor John Bogman has the latest on this feud from our Newsmax Prime newsroom. John?
Well, J.D., after that fiery first debate on Fox News, Donald Trump remains the most liked and most talked about candidate in the primary. And now the fiercest battle of the campaign so far is playing out across a wide spectrum of conservative media between Trump, Fox News, and Megyn Kelly. Kelly and her team at Fox News fired the first shot, a tough personal preemptive strike tossed right at the billionaire real estate mogul.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account?
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
Trump maintains he never made the comments about women in general, and some of Megyn's claims are less than accurate. Inside Edition tracked down former Playboy playmate and Apprentice star Brandy Roderick to debunk the claim that a comment Trump made about her dropping to her knees was sexually suggestive.
I've never had a negative experience with Donald or being on The Apprentice with Donald. It's always been positive.
Conservatives are rallying behind Trump. Rush Limbaugh says the questions from Kelly and the Fox crew were unfair. Michael Savage accused Kelly and the Fox News brass of working for Clinton's campaign.
I know full well that no Democrat candidate is ever going to get a question like that. And no Democrat candidate is ever going to be made to justify his or her existence, like our candidates are.
It's clear now that Mayhem Kelly is working for the other side. It's clear now that Martha Washington and Roger Ailes and Rupert Murdoch are working for Hillary Clinton. It's as clear as a bell that Mayhem Kelly has gone over to the dark side.
But not all conservatives are backing Trump. Eric Erickson disinvited Trump from his red state gathering, claiming that Donald has not apologized for another controversial comment, that one about Megyn Kelly bleeding from her eyes and elsewhere. Erickson says it was a quip about menstruation. Trump maintains he never mentioned anything that personal. Also, Trump supporters say Fox News is on a jihad to close down Trump's White House run, pointing out that Erickson is a paid Fox News contributor, and the media tycoon Rupert Murdoch is backing Jeb Bush for the Republican nomination. Like Jeb, Murdoch has openly embraced more liberal immigration reform policies. Last year, Murdoch even sat down with Obama's closest aide, Valerie Jarrett, to discuss immigration. More recently, Murdoch tweeted out that Trump should leave the race. For his part, Trump remains unapologetic and committed to the race. Well, just today, Trump tweeted this out. Roger Ailes just called. He is a great guy and assures me that Trump will be treated fairly on Fox News. His word is always good. Take that for what it's worth, J.D.
Yeah, we'll see about that. John, thanks very much. For more on this story, let's bring in John Zogby, senior analyst for Zogby Analytics and co-author of the book, First Globals, Understanding, Managing, and Unleashing Our Millennial Generation. Also joining us is Craig Shirley, President Shirley and Bannister Public Affairs. He's the author of a new book to be released this fall entitled Last Act: The Final Years and Emerging Legacy of Ronald Reagan. So, Craig, what's your take on how Trump was treated by Fox News?
Well, that's an interesting question. I guess it depends on which side you come down. I think one thing is for sure, JD, is the Republican Party is going through a metamorphosis, and it's really an outgrowth of the Bush years, and it's all coming to a head right now. Is it a populist reform party, or is it an elitist, corporatist type of party? Right now, the outcome is not clear, but there's two sides. It's an open conflict with each other, and Fox is caught in the middle, unfortunately probably getting the worst of it right now as far as the conservative media is going.
John Zogby, you've heard some conservative grumbling that Fox is moving to the left. In your mind, is there any truth to that?
Moving to the left, no, I doubt that. I think what it tried to do is show its journalistic creds by asking tough questions, really tough questions to all the candidates, I thought, including, to Donald Trump, because some of those quotes anyway were indeed on the record that he had made, and if not, very similar kinds of comments. So in that context, it was fair. I don't know about balance, but it was fair.
All right, Craig, I just have to ask you, to your knowledge, are there any genuine Reaganites at Fox? I know there are a whole lot of Bush backers. Karl Rove comes instantly to mind. Anybody from the Reagan roster you can recall?
Boy, isn't that interesting, JD? You know, I've racked my brains, and I cannot think of a genuine Reaganite at Fox today. Of course, you have John Bolton, who worked for Bush, and you have Karl Rove, who worked for Bush, and Dana Perino, who worked for Bush, and other people like that. But today, I cannot think of a genuine Reaganite at Fox News or Fox Broadcasting at all.
A new NBC News poll conducted after the first debate shows that despite this media storm, Donald Trump continues to lead big. As a matter of fact, he leads by 10 percentage points over Ted Cruz. Now, despite the backlash Trump has received concerning his dust-up with Megyn Kelly, there he is with that substantial double-digit lead. So, John, why do you think there's no discernible change in the polls?
I didn't think that there would be, certainly not in the immediate. I don't know that it'll be anything that Donald Trump says that'll get him in trouble. I think what'll get him in trouble is thin skin and the point at which the media decides, hey, what you said, you've said before, we're not going to cover it today or tomorrow. Once it gets to be 2 or 3 days out of the limelight, I think that that's the sort of thing that may just undo him and undo his candidacy. But to a previous point, remember Ronald Reagan left office in January of 1989. That is 26.5 years ago. That's a long time.
Yeah, but there are a lot of good Reaganites around, like Craig Shirley. Of course, we're glad to have him on Newsmax TV. We're glad to have you too, John Zogby. Let me continue with the surveys. There's yet another poll out. A new Morning Consult survey follows the same trend. Trump is up in that poll. Look at that, 32% to 11% for Jeb Bush. Craig, let me come back to you. John said it's Trump's thin-skinnedness that may do him in, but couldn't you look at that another way? Trump doesn't shrink from battle with anybody, especially a media that rightly or wrongly is perceived as unfair, even if it's Fox.
You know, the voters, JD, the voters have become very sophisticated over the years about the political process, and I think they can smell the candidate who's being handled by handlers and consultants, and a candidate who just wings it and says what's in his heart and in his mind. And he's, quite frankly, he's saying things that they wish that they had said, or they want to say, or they do say over coffee in the morning, or over a back fence with a neighbor, or over the American Legion Hall. And I think that in part is why he continues to surge, is because he's saying things to the establishment. And right now, Fox defines the establishment, just as the Washington Post does, just as the Washington, New York political media complex.
And we will have to leave it there. Craig Shirley and John Zogby, gentlemen, you have our thanks. Now, it's worth noting the camp that Donald Trump's been wearing on the campaign trail and at various campaign stops, blazing out his Make America Great Again slogan, has become a sensation. In fact, sales of that cap are off the charts. Now you can get your very own Make America Great cap, a $25 value, free with this offer. Just pay shipping and handling. Go to newsmax.com/TrumpCap or call 1-800-485-4350. That's 1-800-485-4350. Still to come, Relentless. It's the name of a new book by Wayne Allen Root, and it's also the way Root sees Donald Trump. He'll join us to explain. And later, what does Governor Bobby Jindal think about Donald Trump and the rest of the GOP field? He tells me in an exclusive interview. But first, more on the fallout for Fox from last week's Republican debate. Foster Friess and Jennifer Burke with their thoughts when Newsmax Prime continues.